Hello, clueless gamers. Welcome back to the 7th edition of Cluecast. It is your boy Nemesis, or Travis Crawford, joined by my friend
Luke Carr 17 or Luke Carmichael. What's up, what's up, what's up?
And this week, we got a lot to talk about in regards to Destiny 2, and we finally have a roadmap for the rest of the year in terms of Destiny as its current form. But as always, let's talk about what we've been playing this week. Luke, what have you been up to?
Well, sadly enough, the only game I've played this week is Destiny, which I didn't even want to. I didn't want to play, but you forced me.
I drug you. I actually held a gun to your head.
You held a gun to my head and you made me play Destiny. But
I said, Luke, you play Destiny or you hate babies.
That's exactly what he said. So, we played Destiny. We did a raid together, and it was actually really fun. And I had a great time playing Destiny. So, I'm in good. I'm on good terms with Destiny.
Yeah, it seems like the current state of Destiny right now, it's like the people that are left in the player base, they're either the people that know what they're doing and things run smoothly, or they're the noobs. I won't call them idiots because they can't help it. They're just new to the game. But, players like us, we don't want to waste time, honestly.
No, we don't. I mean, we know we've played these things over and over. I don't know how many times I've done King Slot. I don't know how many times I've done every single, strike. So we know what we're getting ourselves into, and we do it with the most efficient possible way to get it done, get something, hopefully probably not, and then start something else.
Yeah.
And luckily, we got really good players and had a good time. So, but what have you been playing this week?
Well, I've been in Destiny quite a bit. Other than that, I've been playing a little bit of Uncharted, the Uncharted collection.
Ooh, nice.
And a little bit of Black Ops 3, but primarily Destiny this week, surprisingly enough. I stumbled back into Destiny with the Crimson Doubles, which we talked about last week.
Yeah.
And from then, since I was having such an easy and smooth time running Crimson Doubles, I decided to try my hand at some Trials of Osiris, and that didn't pan out quite as well as I would have liked because carrying people is just not my cup of tea. I'm not that good at Destiny. I'm a pretty average player, but
you're not average.
I'm pretty average,
actually. Out of all the games you play, this is probably one of the ones that you can't backpack everyone through. I mean,
yeah,
in Call of Duty, you
can't do it.
You just destroy people. And I'm not saying if you played Destiny again, constantly, you did Trials a lot, and you practice and practice and practice, I bet you'd be there. You could, but
you're probably right. But
you're just an average amount of time playing Destiny. You're really good really good at PvE. That's for sure.
Yeah, you go to the Destiny tracker and it tells everybody your KD, and every time I post on the forums, I'm a 1.5, 1.6 ish KD player, which isn't that great,
but it's really good for Destiny.
In reality, yes, it's still in the top 5 or 6% in the world for kill-death ratio. And next thing you know, I'm getting friend request after friend request. Yeah. And I don't have time to check these people's KDs. And I'm just trying to have some fun.
Exactly. It's not like, hey, you have to be 2.5 or I want to play with you.
Well, if you're 2.5, you're in the top 1-2% of the world.
You're like first place.
Yeah. No, you get what I'm saying.
I get you. I get you.
But yeah, I've decided I'm never going to the Lighthouse.
Yeah, me neither. I don't want to. The Lighthouse is dumb. Who wants to go there?
I'm never going to get a group that I don't have to carry because good people think that I'm not good enough because I've never gotten a emblem thing.
Honestly, Travis, as long as you play with me, you'll never have to backpack because I'll have to backpack you.
Gotcha. I'll keep that in mind.
Just kidding. It's the opposite. As long as you play Trials with me, you'll never make it to the Lighthouse. I don't want to go. I purposely lose because I think it's done.
We'll just get the bounties done and go home.
Yep. We'll just get the bounties done. We'll go home, back to the tower. Tower's way more cool than the stupid Lighthouse. The Lighthouse you'll burn up because you're close to the sun. So why
you see
why hang out there when you can hang out on Earth at the tower?
The goofy little sugar chocolate ghost that came out of Crimson Doubles. And I saw a couple memes where it was melting on Mercury. It was great.
That's amazing.
But yeah, after Trials was over this past week, I decided that I was having a good time playing Destiny, and my wait times were pretty short on the forums, and so I decided to do a couple raids. And doing a couple raids was something that was pretty fun, but I'm already done with it. I'm ready to play another video game,
Same, bro.
which we can talk about later if you want to, but wink wink, it's The Division.
Wink, wink, Division. Wink, wink. Travis and I, wink, wink, are going to play Wink, wink in person together.
Just like the old 1A days.
1A days. What's up, what's up? So, tonight, friends and family and beautiful people, Destiny is what we're going to be speaking about. And it's only because there's some big news that happened. We've been, speculating Destiny 2. It got delayed. We've been speculating on possible DLC. And around this time every year, Bungie has, its big meeting that basically explains the future and where they're at with the game. So that's like the Taken King last year. That's when it kind of explained that was happening. Same with House of Wolves, stuff like that. So we're in year 2 currently for Destiny, and the only thing that came out this year so far is Taken King, and we don't have any idea of anything else that's going to come out DLC wise. So they did announce that this year there will be a large expansion set to come, which is cool.
Yeah.
So that's something like Taken King. Something else like that's going to happen this year. We don't have any specifics yet on it.
Yeah.
It could be a possible thing like Dark Below or House of Wolves, or it could be as big as Taken King. We don't know. And then they officially said Destiny 2 will come in 2017. And I believe them this time. I mean, they probably just didn't want to tell us until this meeting. So
Yeah, well, Destiny 2 was never actually confirmed for 2016. We just speculated.
yeah, we just guessed.
Destiny launched in September, almost 2 years ago, and the Taken King kicked off year 2 this past September.
Yeah, and with Bungie's talk,
logically, it wouldn't be a dumb thing to say we think that Destiny 2 will come out at the same time next year. Which, I mean, we were wrong, and that's fine, because there are a lot of things pointing to promising ventures that Bungie is going to look into to improve the status of the game and how, as it is right now. And not to be overlooked, Bungie also reported that there's going to be a large update that will raise the light level roof and add new gear to the game, which would easily improve things as they are right now.
Yes.
I'm sure everybody enjoyed the updates that changed how things were into the House of Wolves, and then again to the Taken King. Both of those updates prior to those launches were very refreshing and juiced a little bit of life back into the game.
Yeah, the more refreshing, the better, honestly. Especially at this point, we're all on a point where it's like you're either hardcore playing or you're a brand new player playing, and the brand new player is going to be refreshed, but the majority of the other player base needs something that's going to refresh them, something new, something different, not just a new map, not just a new story, but like something else. And Bungie does a really good job at when they do want to refresh things, they like actually strategically refresh things that matter within the game.
Yeah, they literally, to me, they almost like the things that improve. I don't know. They're like little nitpicky things that improve the quality of life within the game. Like
it's like
the vault space.
Yeah, it's like an experiment. Like they're experimenting live. Like we want to give you the best thing, but I don't think they'll ever be like they're thinking there's never gonna be the best thing. That's why we'll continually expand.
Well, for the love of God, please don't slip skill-based matchmaking back in without telling anybody.
Yeah, don't do that. but they'll continuously, keep adding on and expanding on to something that's already great to continue to make it better. Which means at the beginning, like imagine 10 years from now. So Destiny's supposed to have 10 years of content is what they promised. Imagine 10 years from now, thinking back to like year 1 when it was like, remember 365? Like that was how high like weapons went and stuff.
Yeah.
And then who knows? It might not even be light levels in 10 years or whatever, 8 years from now.
Yeah, who knows?
But that brings...
with the update, we're just going to talk chronologically here. With the update, what kind of things you think are going to come with that update? In my eyes and in my mind, I hope that update brings a couple things to the table. They likely won't introduce any new content, specifically like new strikes, new story missions. They probably won't bring in that kind of thing. But raising the light level and making new content available in terms of gear and weapons is something that I look forward to. and maybe even a couple of quality of life things like making use of etheric light, or some of those. What is that word? The
Worm spores.
Yeah, worm spores. And I was almost thinking, like, in terms of evolution, the pieces of the body that just aren't even a piece that's useful anymore. Vestigial, maybe, I think that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
These vestigial pieces of the game that are completely worthless right now and just wasting vault space and inventory space. I look for them to put new things into the game to make those things useful and improve the things that we have currently.
Essentially, it'd be cool to have everything that you possibly have or have received in the first 2 years of the game to be not equal, like all the exact same, but I want to be able to use my Fatebringer, or I want to do this, but that's a whole different story because that I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah, that's just matter of preference and opinion.
But I think that I'm on a different road. I think that this large DLC will be like the Taken King. Like, I think it's a new story.
Well, see, I think we're getting confused here because the update comes early spring, and then the big DLC drop you're talking about is later in the year.
Yeah.
I'm talking just strictly the update that's coming.
Yeah, I knew about it. They announced the spring update. Then they also announced the large expansion, and then will
be in cahoots or equivalents of the Taken King.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on the
update.
Yes, I think that it's going to be just stuff that's going to make the game refreshing, and just like year 2, like the year 2 update, for instance.
Yeah, that made a little bit of a. It doesn't introduce new content in terms of story or PVE, like I said. But what it does is it sort of gives a little bit of juice back into the grind.
And it pumps people up.
It makes new engram drops exciting because you don't see the same crap that you're just going to shard anyways.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and it really, really excites people because, I mean, remember year 2 update? There wasn't a lot different. All it did was changed it to light level. It changed, like...
Seriously, though, yeah, you go into year 2 update and you're using legendaries from year 1, but you see a green engram drop, you're like, uh-oh. I got my first piece of year 2 gear, and it's going to be stronger than my Fatebringer.
Exactly. Like, when it was taking people like 40 hours to download that because there was so much internet traffic trying to download it because people were so excited about it. So, like, this update in spring, it's going to be cool. And just like you said, it's going to be stuff that refreshes.
And just improves the quality of life within Destiny as it is right now.
I think it's going to be the things like making Vault of Glass happen. Like, if you want to get equipment in,
you're speaking to my heart.
Yeah, I think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be the stuff that,
or even Skull Loss. We loaded up Skull Loss before doing the daily heroic whatever night that was, and we decided not to because it's just not worth the time right now.
No.
Make Skull Loss playable again. Make those etheric lights do something that make it worthwhile to obtain them.
At least until Destiny 2 comes out. I mean, have the stuff...
Or even this big expansion.
Yeah, or until the big expansion.
Yeah.
Something to get it equaled out. Because essentially, when this game is done, when Destiny 2 comes out, Destiny year 1/year 2 will technically be... It'll be like 3 years of Destiny will be built into this one game. There will be 4 DLCs altogether. And essentially, that's a really sick, amazing package of a game if it's all equaled out. Like, if you can use your year 1, Vault of Glass gear, like if you can actually get gear that has 320 light level, if you can actually get gear in Dark Below, like, and then actually use etheric light.
I would gladly get back in those rings.
And that's only because I only think this because people will complain and say, well, why? No, we don't want in year 2, year 3, we don't want it to be, just regular gun. We don't want the guns to be the favorites from before because they were overpowered. No, I'm talking Destiny 2 is a whole different thing. You're not. I don't know what's gonna happen from it. We're gonna talk about it here soon, but I don't personally think that anything from year 1 is gonna be possible to use in it. I think it's all gonna be new gear, just like the Taken King. All the new gear is what you want to use now, and I think that it'd be cool if all of this year 1 through 3, which year 1 through 3 is technically gonna be Destiny 1. Can all be equaled out. Like, it's all equal, because if you're going to go back to play that game, if you do, which I don't know if a lot of people will when Destiny 2 comes out, if it doesn't pertain to Destiny 1. It's really hard to talk about this because it's a whole different situation than any other game.
Yes, I completely see what you're saying because we literally don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how it's going to be handled.
Yes, because this is handled differently than any. I mean, there's not Call of Duty games out right now that have been out for 3 years and keep expanding upon themselves, and people they still have a player base. They come out every year, same. But this is just like those MMOs, like World of Warcraft, for instance. Like there's those
Eve Online.
yeah, it's those games that. So I think that's how this is going to roll out. I just wish and hope that I think this update, if they do it the way that they want or the way the community wants, it's going to equal out this game and make it so once it's over in year 2 and Destiny 2 comes out, the entire Destiny 1, all the DLCs, it's equivalent. If you want to play it, if you want to use that Fatebringer all the way through the game, you can. If you want to use something from the Dark Below that you get, like
Galahorn.
the Galahorn, if you want to use the Galahorn, if you want to use the
Black Hammer.
the Black Hammer all the way through, then you can. That's just why I think it would make sense, and then it would make it so if people wanted to go back, they could go back with good reason, just for nostalgia, or if someone's coming to Destiny in like 10 years from the beginning and want to play from the beginning to the end, it makes sense that it's all equal all the way through. So that's my spiel on that section. I'm sorry I talked so much about it. I just have like a weird like thoughts on it. I think that, and I don't know if that's going to happen or not. It's all speculation. It's all my opinion, but I think that it would be in their best benefit to do that.
Sounds like it would be an improvement, honestly.
I agree.
And something that I would look forward to. But like we said, little disclaimer, we don't know anything for fact other than that Destiny 2 will be launching in 2017. Another thing that we learned this week is that a former employee, I don't know if he worked at Bungie before, but he certainly worked on Halo and Mass Effect most recently. That's that Christopher Schlurf, I believe his name is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm unsure if I'm pronouncing that name correctly, but he just came to work at Bungie right after Bungie 2 was confirmed. And that, in my mind, raises high hopes that maybe it's not work on Destiny 2 just yet. Maybe he's putting stuff together or helping them put this stuff together for the big DLC launch later this year. In which case, we'd have a new raid and new story missions,
just like
in equivalence with the Taken King.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's going to be something that I think that they did this a specific way. Like, we didn't really expect this. We didn't expect Destiny 2 to come out the next year. I think that this DLC, now I'm gonna give you like what I think this DLC is going to be. I think it's going to be a full story. I'm going to say it quick. I think it's going to be a full story, and I think it's going to be specific. I think it's going to come off of, you're going to find out what happens to the Queen. You're going to find out it's going to come right off of the Taken King, and it's really going to connect what happens in between, like what's going to actually happen in Destiny 2. It's going to leave either a big cliffhanger or it's going to answer a bunch of questions coming into the next game, which is going to hopefully give Destiny 2 just this huge platform to have an insanely good story to make up for what happened this year.
Yeah, and I could see that. And this is going to sort of derail this whole conversation because I'm getting little flashbacks of bits and pieces of story that came from the Taken King. Mm-hmm. Year 1, literally, the story was pathetic.
Yeah, it sucked.
But now that I'm thinking about the Taken King, there are a couple elements from that story. Now, it wasn't told well. The storytelling was sort of bad. But in a way, if you think about it, you start out on Phobos, mm-hmm. and that's when the Taken start beating up the Cabal, and the Cabal get severely pissed off. And they decide they're going to wreck their ship onto the Dreadnought.
Just ram into
and
it.
Attempt to kill Oryx themselves. And then you go in and kill the Shield Brothers. So what if the Queen has been seized by the Queen, who is still alive, has been seized by the new Cabal, and Cabal will be the main focus of this DLC expansion, and we get a Cabal raid.
That's exactly like one of the things I was thinking. I was thinking it's either going to be Cabal or it's going to be a story of where the heck the Vex came from. I think it's less likely Vex as it is Cabal, because there hasn't really been anything crazy about Cabal. And you're exactly right. That would make, oh man, dude, I hope that's how it is. That'd make so much sense to why the Cabal go to that ship and not blow up it, but run into it. Like, obvious. Yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense, man. That makes a lot of sense.
I would like to see a Cabal raid, because we've sort of had faction respective raids and pieces of content. With the Dark Below that came out, it was Hive.
Hive, yeah.
And then obviously with the vanilla game we had the Vault of Glass, which was
Vex.
respective to the Vex.
Mm-hmm.
And then the House of Wolves, which was Fallen.
Yeah, Fallen. So now we just need Cabal, and then that leaves us. That's all the races for Destiny 1, so that leaves it open to finally have not all the. It's not like the doors are closed, because they didn't really close or open the doors very well for each race, but it makes it so they've all been told a little bit, so Destiny 2 can finally bring in some new stuff. Like, it doesn't have to be Cabal, Vex. There can be new enemies, basically.
Yeah.
Not just enemies that are like weird, colorful, white-looking versions of them. Like actual different races from different universes.
That sounds really cool. And, I agree with you in terms of the Vex, because I feel like although the Vault of Glass is one of the best pieces of PvE content I've ever experienced personally, I felt like we just sort of drop in the place and we don't really know why the hell we're doing that.
Yeah, and the thing is, we figure out more of what it is in the Taken King.
Yeah, with the raids of the Dark Below, you have Eris Morn, who barely survived Crota, and she comes back to the tower to warn you. Crota is taking a rising in the moon.
Yeah.
And then chronologically, you had House of Wolves. Skolas betrayed the queen, killed a bunch of Awoken, and she opens up the reef to the Guardians to kill Skolas and track him down. That makes sense. And then obviously Oryx.
Yeah.
We killed his son. So all these pieces of story, they connect, and they sort of lead to one another. There's cause and effect. But with the Vault of Glass, it's just sort of like
what?
Here's a raid.
And it's kind of like, that kind of is a testament to when the game first was released, what that story was. It was here's this game. Good luck.
Yeah,
it didn't really make sense.
Rank up to 20 real quick. Destroy this big black squiggly thing on Mars/Venus.
Yeah,
that's the Black Garden, and then we'll kill this Atheon dude for no particular reason.
Yeah, he's just this cool looking guy in this vault that who
controls time.
Who knows who built that? I don't know, but
yeah, that could have been built up much better, which
could happen.
An interesting thing to talk about, as we were just introducing the idea that Christopher Schlurp, or whatever his name is. Deepest apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Schlurf. He could bring an interesting story to the table, and hopefully he draws it in a better, more intuitive way for gamers and Guardians to understand and enjoy.
Agreed. I think you will. I think it's going to be cool. I think so. Let's talk about Destiny 2. Like, now that we're kind of getting into what might be more enjoyable.
Over this chronological time we've been going with, things have been improving, so let's continue.
So Destiny 2, I think that it's obviously, this is what I want from it. I want 60 frames per second. I want full 1080p. Okay.
Minimum.
Simple. All right. So, yeah, 120 frames per second. That'd be stupid. They look like they're running around really fast. But and then I would like a real story. Not that there was no real story, but I want a really in-depth video game story for PvE, and I want a completely rebuilt Crucible. That's all I ask. And then if I get those, I'll probably be happy. I think that this game, I have no idea what this game's going to be about. I think that it's going to be a completely new universe. I kind of think the tower might be there, but I really don't know, honestly, dude. It could be anything. This could have everything from that. Like, there could be so many situations. Like, if you want to, I feel like there's a possibility.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot to speculate.
Like, it could be year 1 connected with year 2, connected with year 3, connected with Destiny 2. I don't know. But personally, I think it's going to be an entire new route, and I think you're going to be able to use your characters. I think that your characters and all your gear, I think that will come over if you've played before. It would make sense. And maybe not. Maybe start fresh.
I'm fairly certain that has already been confirmed.
Yes.
You will be able to take your character into Destiny 2.
Okay, well then that's great. So then,
I believe.
So then I think that there's going to be new races. It's probably going to be 4 if they're going to do it like the first one. I think there's going to be new planets. I think we're going to go to a different solar system, to be honest with you. there's so much more. There's so much to the story that could happen. We'll figure out. Maybe it could be giving us more info on where the traveler came from, or what happened, or maybe it's the same solar system, but we get to go to like Jupiter or something. I don't know, random place, or different parts of the Earth. I don't know. There's so many things, and there's so much story left in it. But I personally think that there's going to be a new solar system with our solar system. I think there's going to be a completely new race, and I think there's going to be some really cool stuff in it. I don't know. I think it's going to be good.
So
it's
with all these things that you're speculating and the things that you hope for in Destiny 2, let me ask you this. Do you think that they will expand the subclass system in terms of, the elemental damage types? Do you think that they'll just make new subclasses for each element, or do you think they're going to introduce new elements?
I think that they're going to introduce completely new elements in every single new complete game. I think they'll just do it based on how they do it now. I think there'll be 3 new elements in the next one. Let's think. There's the color. How about the color green? Whatever that could be, like some sort of leafy type of thing. I don't know. And the color, just think of different colors that have been used, and you can kind of make up a element out of it. I think I think that they're going to do that. I also think they're going to, supers. I think there's going to be.
Well, I'd like to see new elements, but I'm going to probably disagree with you in the idea that because I don't know, the way you just worded that made it sound sort of like they're going to get rid of the solar void and arc.
No, they're just going to add on every single time.
Okay.
They're going to add on 3 more is what I'm saying. I think what happens.
I'm with you. Okay, that makes sense. So, do you think that they're going to tease us again and just say Titan gets the new, let's call it wind for the green, and maybe white for, I don't know, water. I don't know.
Ooh, blue could be water. Oh, wait, there's already blue. Yeah, white for water.
Yeah.
White for snow. No, freezing. It freezes people.
Yeah, ice.
Ice.
Yeah, whatever. Just count these as placeholders. So what the idea I'm getting at, are they going to copy year 1 in the sense that each class gets 2 subclasses, and then for year 2 they're going to unlock the 3rd for each class? I could see that happening, but I kind of hope it doesn't, but I could see it.
I could see it, but I don't know. The thing is about Bungie and about this whole situation is they're very secretive and very good about not, having anything released early or whatever. And I don't have any idea, to be honest with you. It's not going to be until we get an announcement or get a live stream. Like, they could be doing anything. Like, they could literally maybe add a 4th character. You never know.
I would take a 4th, 5th, and 6th character.
Yeah, like completely different races. What I'm saying, like, there's Warlock, there's Hunter, and I'm talking like different types of Guardians.
See, that is an exciting idea, but we like you said, we never know. I feel like Bungie is getting more communicative with their community, which is a good thing. But like we said, we're just totally speculating here and just basically talking our hopes up on what we think would be a positive thing to see for Destiny 2 in year 3
and that's why
of this franchise that we've come to love.
And that's why we podcast, so we can talk about our random things and maybe someone will listen.
No, yeah, and talk to us about it.
Yeah, give us their opinions. It's so good to hear, have a good conversation
seriously.
about what you think, and it gets you pumped up because you don't know if it's going to actually happen. And most likely, something that any of us just said tonight is going to happen because it's Bungie. They're going to give the people what they want, essentially, especially after this first year of really seeing these first couple of years of really seeing how they listen to the community, like you said.
Yeah, and one other thing, just another final thought, sort of, on this whole, the new update, expansion, and sequel to the franchise coming up within the next year. I would like to see Bungie, rather than always taking, because I'm pulling this page straight out of your book. This is practically out of your mouth. I'd like to see them learn from their own mistakes and not take every piece of content and change made to Destiny from the community. They've made mistakes. They know they've made mistakes, just like this past week with Crimson Doubles. They knew the drop rates were low when they said they wouldn't be, so in turn they reward people by giving them a free 320 Ghost. That, to me, takes the experience of Destiny away, albeit love it or hate it. The system of RNG, when you finally get that last piece of gear, there's no feeling like it in the world, and Bungie just ruined that for some people. Those people that literally needed a 320 Ghost just to make it to light level 320, they just took that experience away from a mistake, and it's fixable. And I just like to see them learn from these things. When they come out with these time-based events around things, I mean, this may seem small in scope to everything we've talked about and speculated tonight, but I'd just like to see them fix those mistakes, learn from those mistakes, make it freaking rain whenever they come out with these things. Like the Iron Banner, for instance. I don't want to grind through 5 levels on 3 different characters just to get one lousy 302 helmet.
Exactly. You should be
Make it rain.
You better get a 320 no matter what.
Not even just 320. I'd just like to see like 5 weapons come out of there, a couple pieces of armor.
Like at least every 2 matches you get a good drop, you know?
Yeah, I should get drops more often. I mean, I should not be able to count it on one hand.
No.
That's what I guess.
Especially after playing 50 up to 50 matches within an Iron Banner week.
Yeah.
That's a lot of gameplay.
That's just one small example, but other than mistakes, they need to fix all kinds of things. They've made tons of mistakes. They know they have. We've seen them make them. For example, the motes of light situation right now, when you use a mode of light to upgrade a piece of gear, why is it that guns upgrade within 5 or 10 of them, and it takes 100 to upgrade a piece of armor?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
No.
And earlier this year, they also had what was known as the weapon parts drought.
Oh, gosh.
Things like that are avoidable, and just avoid them.
Yes.
That's all I'm asking for the upcoming year and the sequel of Destiny. They need to plan ahead. I would like to see them plan ahead better, I guess, among telling a better story and making the game a little bit more intuitive to the clueless gamer.
Which is what we like. We like the clueless gamers. Well, it looks like that's all the time we have tonight, Travis. That was a good conversation, honestly. Like I'm excited for the future of Destiny. As much as I hate it sometimes, I love Destiny so much. It's different than anything else.
Yeah, you can't deny the shooting mechanics and the whole working together with 4 to 5 random people you've never met before, and honestly bonding with them and making friends. I've met some cool people on Destiny, and you just can't beat a game like this.
It's a truth.
And I have extremely high hopes for it, especially from what I've seen it come from to the things that it's improved and the struggles that it's had. It's got a lot to look forward to, in my opinion.
I agree, man. I agree. Well, everybody who's listening, we appreciate it. We would love it if you would subscribe to us on YouTube, like our videos, share them. We would also love it if you check us out on Facebook, like us, Clueless Gamers, if you check us out there. Or if you follow us and retweet us, all that stuff on Twitter. We are at Clueless Gamers too. So that's another episode. Make sure to keep your ears/eyes peeled, because Travis and I are going to be trying out the Division open beta in person together, and we're going to probably give you guys some insight on what it's going to be about. So keep your ears/eyes peeled for that, because it's going to be sweet. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, there may or may not be a video involved of us getting killed a lot in the dark zone.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be great, and we are going to enjoy it. And we love all of you so much. Thanks for supporting us, Travis. You're an amazing man, and we would like to say good night.